A mafia boss's son had only 1 month left to live, and what the new maid did next left his father in tears. The boy was dying, his heart was failing, and his father, a ruthless crime lord who'd built an empire on fear, could do nothing but watch. Then she arrived. A simple maid with a worn Bible and a smile that wouldn't quit. She opened the curtains. She sang hymns. She prayed over a child everyone else had given up on, and something impossible started to happen. The boy began to smile again, to laugh, to live. But here's what the mafia boss didn't know. This maid had every reason to hate him. Her brother was killed in his gang's crossfire 5 years ago. She came into his house knowing exactly who he was, knowing he was responsible for destroying her family. So why did she choose to save his son instead of seeking revenge? What kind of person forgives the unforgivable? And when the father finally discovers the truth, that the woman who saved his child lost everything because of him, will it destroy them both? Or will her impossible grace be the one thing that finally saves him from himself? I stare at Dr. Bellini's face and see the truth before he speaks. His eyes won't meet mine. His hands grip the leather folder too tight. The silence stretches between us like a death sentence waiting to be read. How long? I ask. My voice sounds calm. I've spent 20 years making my voice sound calm when I want to kill someone. This is different. This is worse. Dr. Bellini clears his throat. Mr. Romano, I'm afraid. How long does my son have? The words cut through the air like a blade. Sharp, final. He closes the folder. His shoulders sag. 1 month. Maybe less. Something inside my chest breaks. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a quiet snap, like a thread finally giving way after holding too much weight for too long. I feel nothing and everything at once. There must be something, I say. Surgery, a transplant. Money isn't. His heart is too weak for surgery. He's not stable enough for a transplant list. Dr. Bellini's voice is gentle, too gentle. I'm sorry, Vincenzo. We've done everything we can. I stand up. My legs feel heavy. Get out, I say. Vincenzo, get out of my house. He leaves. The door closes with a soft click that sounds like thunder in my ears. I walk to the window. The mansion grounds stretch before me. Guards patrol the gate. Gardeners trim the hedges. Everything looks normal. Everything looks like a lie. My son is dying. Luca is 8 years old. He loves drawing pictures of superheroes. He asks questions about stars. He laughs when I pretend to be a monster chasing him through the halls. He loved those things. Past tense. Because for 3 months now, he hasn't drawn anything, hasn't asked anything, hasn't laughed. He just lies in his bed, pale and silent. His eyes stare at the ceiling like he's already halfway to heaven. I told myself he was getting better. I told myself the doctors were wrong. I told myself a lot of things that weren't true. My throat tightens. I pour whiskey into a glass. My hand doesn't shake. I trained my hands not to shake years ago. The amber liquid burns going down but brings no comfort. I think about my wife, Maria. She died bringing Luca into this world. I held her hand while the light left her eyes. She whispered, "Take care of him." And then she was gone. I failed her. I built an empire on violence and fear. I made men kneel. I crushed anyone who threatened my power. I thought I was protecting my son by being strong, but strength means nothing now. Money means nothing. Power means nothing. My son is dying, and I can't stop it. I walk to my office and pull up the security feed on my computer. Camera 12 shows Luca's room. He lies motionless under white sheets. A nurse sits in the corner, reading a magazine. She doesn't look at him. No one looks at him anymore. Not really. They see a dying child and look away. I watch the screen until my eyes burn. Then I press the intercom button. "Antonio," I call. My butler answers immediately. "Yes, sir?" "Find someone." My voice sounds hollow. "Anyone. Someone to take care of the boy." "Sir, we already have 3 nurses." "Not a nurse. Someone who—" I stop. I don't know how to finish that sentence. Someone who what? Someone who can perform miracles? Someone who can bring the dead back to life? Someone who cares, I finally say. The words taste strange in my mouth. Antonio's voice softens. "I'll do my best, sir." I end the call and sit in the dark. Outside, the sun sets. The sky bleeds orange and red. beautiful and terrible at the same time. I don't pray. I stopped praying the day Maria died. God took her from me. Why would I ask him for anything else? But tonight, alone in my office with my dying son 1 floor above me, something shifts in my chest. Not hope. I don't believe in hope anymore, but something. A crack in the armor I've worn for 8 years. I close my eyes and whisper into the darkness. Please. It's not a prayer. It's just a word. A sound. A desperate noise from a broken man who has run out of options. No one answers. The next morning, I hear shouting at the gate. I'm in the kitchen drinking coffee that tastes like ash when Marco, my driver, calls me. Boss, there's a woman here. Says she's the new maid. Send her away. I don't need... She says Antonio sent her. For the boy. My breath catches. I set down my cup. Bring her to my office. 10 minutes later, Marco leads a young woman through my door. She's maybe 25, dressed in simple clothes that have been washed too many times. Her dark hair is pulled back in a braid. She carries a worn Bible in one hand and a single piece of paper in the other. Her eyes find mine. They're warm, brown, completely unafraid. Most people who enter my office look nervous. They should. This room has seen confessions extracted with threats, money counted that came from blood, decisions made that ended lives. But this woman just stands there calm as morning light. Mr. Romano, she says. My name is Clara Morales. I'm here about your son. Her voice is soft but steady. Who sent you? I ask. Antonio spoke with Father Miguel at the church. Father Miguel knows my family. He said you needed help. I study her face. No makeup, no jewelry, just clean skin and eyes that hold something I can't name. What makes you think you can help my son? I can't promise to save him, Clara says. But I can promise to care for him, to sit with him, to make sure he's not alone. The words hit me harder than I expect. Not alone. Luca has been alone. Surrounded by nurses and guards and staff, but completely alone. Because everyone who looks at him sees death coming. They see the end. They don't see him. You have experience? I ask. I worked as a nurse's assistant for 3 years. Before that, I took care of my grandmother until she passed. Clara's voice doesn't waver. I'm good with children. Patient. Gentle. My son doesn't talk, I say. The words come out harder than I intend. He doesn't move much. He's dying. Do you understand that? Yes. And you still want this job? I do. I lean back in my chair. Something about her unsettles me. Maybe it's the Bible. Maybe it's the way she stands there without flinching under my stare. 1 week trial, I finally say. If he gets worse, you're gone. If you cause any problems, you're gone. If I don't like the way you look at him... I understand, Clara says. Her voice remains calm. Not defiant. Not scared. Just calm. I nod to Marco. Show her to the boys' room. Clara turns to leave, then pauses. Thank you, Mr. Romano. I don't respond. I just watch her walk away. This small woman with her worn Bible and simple clothes, walking into my house like she has every right to be here. After she leaves, I sit alone in my office. Something shifted in her expression when I mentioned Luca. Not pity, not sadness, hope. I felt it. The possibility that maybe, just maybe, something could still be saved. I push the thought away. Hope is dangerous. Hope makes you weak. Hope is what gets you destroyed in my world. But I can't stop thinking about her eyes. I watch Clara through the security cameras. She enters Luca's room like she's entering a chapel. Quiet. Reverent. The nurse stands to leave, relieved to be dismissed. Clara sets her Bible on the dresser. She walks to the window and pulls back the heavy curtains. Sunlight floods the room for the first time in months. I watch my son's face on the screen. He blinks against the brightness. His hand moves slightly, just an inch across the blanket. Clara turns and walks to his bedside. She doesn't hesitate. She doesn't hover nervously like the nurses do. She simply sits in the chair beside him and smiles. "Hello, sweetheart," she says. Her voice carries through the audio feed, warm, real, like she's talking to someone she's known forever. Luca doesn't respond. His eyes stare at the ceiling. Clara doesn't seem bothered. She folds her hands in her lap and starts talking about the weather, about the birds she saw on her walk this morning, about how beautiful the mansion gardens are. Simple things. Small things. I expect to feel annoyed. This woman is wasting time with pointless chatter when my son is dying. But I keep watching. Clara starts humming. Some kind of hymn. I don't recognize it. The melody is gentle and rises and falls like breathing. On the screen, Luca's eyes shift, just barely, toward the sound. My chest tightens. Clara keeps humming while she straightens his blankets. She adjusts his pillows. She moves around the room like she belongs there. Then she pulls the chair closer to his bed and opens her Bible. "I'm going to read you a story," she says. "It's about a little boy who felt very small and scared, but something wonderful happened to him." She begins reading. Her voice is soft but clear. I should stop watching. I have work to do, phone calls to make, business to handle. But I sit there, staring at the screen, listening to this stranger read Bible stories to my dying son. Hours pass. Clara never stops talking to him, never stops moving around the room with gentle purpose. She organizes his art supplies even though he hasn't drawn in months. She waters the wilted plant on the windowsill. She hums more hymns. At dinner time, a maid brings a tray. Clara thanks her warmly. She tries to feed Luca soup, one small spoonful at a time. He swallows twice, then turns his head away. "That's okay," Clara says. "You did so well. 2 bites is good." Her voice holds no disappointment, no frustration, just acceptance. I feel something strange in my chest, something I haven't felt in 8 years. Warmth. This woman has been in my house for 6 hours, and already the air feels different. I close the security feed and walk to my bedroom. I haven't slept properly in weeks. Tonight will be no different. I lie in the dark and think about Clara's voice reading those Bible stories. I think about how Luca's eyes shifted toward the sound. I think about hope, even though I don't want to. The next morning, I find Clara in the hallway outside Luca's room. She's standing by the window, looking out at the garden. Her head is bowed. Her lips move silently. She's praying. I stop walking. Something about the sight makes my throat tight. When was the last time anyone prayed in this house? When Maria was alive? Before that? Clara finishes and turns. She sees me and doesn't startle. "Good morning, Mr. Romano," she says. "How is he?" I ask. The question sounds strange. I haven't asked anyone how my son is doing in weeks. I've just read the medical reports, watched the monitors, kept my distance. "He's resting," Clara says. "He had a peaceful night." "Did he?" I stop. The words stick in my throat. "Did he say anything?" "Not yet. But he will." Her voice is certain. I want to tell her she's wrong. I want to tell her that doctors and specialists and the best medicine money can buy have all said the same thing. My son is slipping away, but I don't say it. "You opened the curtains," I say instead. "Yes." The darkness wasn't helping him. Clara's eyes meet mine without fear. Children need light. Even when they're sick. The nurse said the light bothered him. The nurse was wrong. The words are gentle but firm. I feel a flash of anger. This woman has been here one day and she thinks she knows better than trained professionals? But then I remember my son's eyes shifting toward the window, toward the sunlight. "Do what you think is best," I say. Clara nods. "Thank you." She turns to go back into the room, then pauses. "Mr. Romano?" she says. "What?" "He knows you're watching." Her voice is soft. "Through the cameras. He can see the little red lights." My breath catches. "And?" I ask. "He wants you to come see him. Not through a screen." Clara's eyes hold mine. "He wants his father." The words cut through me like knives. I stand there, unable to speak, unable to move. Clara waits. My voice sounds broken. "I will." It's a lie. We both know it. But she smiles anyway. Small and sad and kind. "Whenever you're ready," she says. Then she goes back into the room and closes the door gently behind her. I stand in the empty hallway. My hands shake. I clench them into fists until the shaking stops. That afternoon, I hear something I haven't heard in 3 months. Laughter. I'm in my office when the sound drifts through the house like music. Faint, fragile, but real. I jump up and run to the security feed. On screen, Clara is making shadow puppets on the wall. Her hands form shapes that look like birds and dogs and something that might be a dragon. Luca watches. His face is still pale. His body is still weak, but his mouth curves into the smallest smile. The breath leaves my lungs. Clara keeps making the shadows dance. She tells a silly story about a dog who wanted to fly. Her voice is animated, playful. Then she makes a barking sound. Luca's smile grows. His chest shakes with a silent laugh. I grip the edge of my desk. My son is laughing. Something shifts in my chest. Something huge and painful and beautiful all at once. I watch them for 20 minutes. Clara eventually stops the shadow puppets and starts drawing with him. She holds up a picture and asks him what color the sky should be. Luca doesn't answer, but his hand lifts. He points to the blue crayon. Clara's eyes light up. "Perfect choice," she says. She colors the sky blue while Luca watches. I watch them both, and for the first time in months, I don't feel completely helpless. 5 days pass. Clara fills the house with something I can't name. Not just light, not just warmth, something deeper, peace. The staff starts smiling more. The guards nod to her when she walks by. Even Marco, who trusts no one, brings her coffee in the morning without being asked. She eats meals with the kitchen staff instead of alone. She thanks everyone who helps her. She knows all their names within 2 days. I watch her move through my house and wonder how someone so gentle survived in a world this hard. On the 6th morning, I finally work up the courage to visit Luca's room. I stand outside the door for 5 minutes before knocking. "Come in," Clara calls. I open the door. The room looks different, brighter. The curtains are open. Fresh flowers sit on the dresser. Luca's drawings are pinned to the walls. My son lies in bed, propped up by pillows. His eyes are closed. Clara stands by the window, watering the plant that's now green and alive. "He's sleeping," she whispers. I nod. Relief and disappointment flood through me at once. I walk closer to the bed. Luca looks so small under the blankets, so fragile. My throat tightens. I reach out and touch his hand. His skin is warm. His chest rises and falls with shallow breaths. "Talk to him," Clara says softly. "He's asleep. He can still hear you." I look at her. She smiles encouragingly. I turn back to Luca. My mouth feels dry. "Hey, buddy," I whisper. The words sound awkward, foreign. I'm here." My voice cracks. "I'm sorry I haven't been here more. I've been scared." The admission shocks me. I don't admit fear. Not to anyone. Not even to myself. But the truth spills out. "I'm scared of losing you," I say. "I'm scared I already lost you. I'm scared that—" I can't finish. Luca's hand moves under mine. Just barely. His fingers curl against my palm. My breath catches. His eyes open. Slowly. He looks at me with those blue eyes that are exactly like Maria's. And then he whispers one word. So soft I almost don't hear it. "Papa." The room spins. I fall to my knees beside the bed. My vision blurs. Luca spoke. He said my name. Clara's hand rests on my shoulder. "He's been waiting for you," she whispers. I can't speak. I can only hold my son's hand and cry for the first time since Maria died. Luca's eyes close again, but his fingers stay wrapped around mine, and I stay kneeling beside his bed, this broken man in his expensive suit, holding on to the one thing in the world that still matters. Clara steps back quietly. I hear her whisper a prayer of thanks, and for just a moment, in this room filled with sunlight and flowers and hope, I almost believe in God again. I spend the next morning watching Clara through the cameras again. It's become a habit, a need. She moves through Luca's room like sunlight moves through water. Natural, effortless. She sings while she folds his blankets. She tells stories while she brushes his hair. My son listens. He doesn't talk much, but he listens. And sometimes, he smiles. That's more than I could give him in 3 months. Marco knocks on my office door. He enters without waiting for permission. That's how things work between us. 20 years of loyalty means certain rules don't apply. "Boss, the staff wants to talk to you," he says. "About what?" "The new girl, Clara." Marco shifts his weight. "She's got them doing something weird." My chest tightens. "What kind of weird?" "Praying. Before breakfast. All of them together." I stare at him. And it's strange. We don't do that kind of thing here." Marco's voice is uncomfortable. "Thought you should know." I lean back in my chair. Part of me wants to stop it. This is a house built on power and control, not faith and prayer circles. But another part of me, the part that heard my son say Papa yesterday, doesn't care. Let them pray, I say. Marco blinks. Seriously? If it makes them happy? Let them pray. I turn back to my computer. Is that all? He hesitates. She's changing things, boss. The whole house feels different. I know. You okay with that? I look at him. Marco's been with me since the beginning. He's seen me at my worst. He's helped me bury bodies and secrets and truths that would destroy lesser men. I don't know what I'm okay with anymore, I say. The honesty surprises us both. Marco nods slowly. Fair enough. He leaves. I sit alone in my office and think about change. About how one small woman with a worn Bible can shift the entire foundation of a house built on violence. About how terrifying that is. And how much I need it. That afternoon, Clara finds me in the library. I'm pretending to read business reports. Really, I'm just staring at numbers that don't matter anymore. Mr. Romano? She says. I look up. She stands in the doorway, hands folded in front of her. Her posture is respectful, but not scared. Luca drew something, she says. I thought you might want to see it. She walks over and hands me a piece of paper. My breath catches. It's a crayon drawing. Simple, childish, beautiful. 3 stick figures. A tall one, a small one, a medium one with long hair. We're holding hands. Under the drawing, in shaky letters, Luca wrote, My family. My throat tightens. He wanted me to show you, Clara says softly. He said you make the sad go away. I stare at the drawing. The colors are bright, red and blue and yellow. The sun in the corner has a smile on it. I don't make anything go away, I say. My voice sounds rough. You're here. That's enough. Clara's eyes find mine. Children don't need perfect fathers. They just need present ones. The words hit me hard. I've spent 8 years being powerful, being feared, being everything except present. I don't know how to be what he needs, I say. Yes, you do. You're already doing it. Clara smiles. You came to his room. You held his hand. You cried. That's exactly what he needs. Something shifts in my chest. Will you join us for lunch? She asks. Luca asked if you would eat with us today. The request is simple, impossible, terrifying. I have work, I start to say. But Clara just waits. Patient. Kind. My excuses die in my throat. What time? I ask. Noon. I nod. Clara's smile grows. He'll be so happy. She leaves with the drawing still in my hands. I look at the 3 stick figures holding hands. The word family written in my son's unsteady writing. And I realize I haven't felt like part of a family since Maria died. Maybe it's time to try again. Lunch is strange and wonderful and painful all at once. Clara sets up a small table beside Luca's bed. She brings soup and bread and fruit. She arranges everything like we're having a fancy meal instead of eating in a sick child's bedroom. I sit in the chair across from Luca. He looks at me with those blue eyes. He's still pale, still weak. But something in his face is different. He's happy I'm here. Your father's going to eat with us, Clara says cheerfully. Isn't that nice? Luca nods. A small movement, but definite. Clara serves the soup. She helps Luca with his spoon. He manages 3 bites before he's tired. That's wonderful, Clara says. You're getting stronger every day. I want to believe her, but I see how thin Luca's arms are, how shallow his breathing is. Tell your father what you told me this morning, Clara says. Luca looks at me. He opens his mouth. His voice is barely a whisper. I want to see the stars. The words are soft but clear. My chest aches. The stars? I ask. He nods. Miss Clara said we could go outside, at night, to see them. I look at Clara. She meets my gaze calmly. The doctor said fresh air would be good for him, she says. Short visits, nothing strenuous. At night? I ask. He can't sleep anyway. Why not spend that time doing something beautiful? Clara's voice is gentle. He wants to see the stars before... She doesn't finish. She doesn't have to. Before he dies. That's what she means. My hands clench under the table. Please, Papa, Luca whispers. I look at my son, at his hopeful face, at the fragile light in his eyes. Okay, I say. Tonight, we'll look at the stars. Luca's whole face brightens. He smiles wider than I've seen in months. Clara's eyes shine with tears she doesn't let fall. And I sit there, terrified and grateful all at once, wondering how this woman convinced me to do something I would have said was impossible just a week ago. That night, I carry Luca outside. He weighs almost nothing, like holding air and bones and hope. Clara spreads blankets on the grass in the garden. She sets up pillows. She lights candles in glass jars that make soft circles of light. I lay Luca down gently. He looks up at the sky. The stars are everywhere, thousands of them, brilliant white points against the darkness. Beautiful, Luca breathes. Clara sits on his other side. She points up. That one is the North Star, she says. Sailors used to follow it when they were lost. It always pointed them home. Luca stares at it. His hand reaches up like he's trying to touch the light. Do you think Mama's up there? He asks. The question stops my heart. Clara looks at me. I don't know what to say. I think your mama is somewhere wonderful, Clara says softly. And I think she can see you. And I think she's very proud of you. How do you know? Luca asks. Because any mother would be proud of a boy as brave as you. Luca's breath catches. I'm not brave. I'm sick. Being sick doesn't mean you're not brave. Clara's voice is warm. Brave means you keep going even when you're scared. And you do that every single day. I feel tears on my face. I don't wipe them away. Luca turns his head to look at me. Papa's crying. It's okay to cry, Clara says. Sometimes tears are how our hearts speak when words aren't enough. We lie there for an hour, the three of us under the stars. Clara tells stories about constellations. Luca asks questions in his small, tired voice. I mostly stay quiet, but I hold my son's hand the whole time, and when we finally carry him back inside, he whispers, "Best night ever." Those 3 words break something open inside me. Or maybe they heal something I didn't know was broken. The next morning, Dr. Bellini comes for his weekly visit. I wait in my office while he examines Luca. Clara stays with them. 30 minutes later, Dr. Bellini knocks on my door. Come in, I call. He enters slowly. His face is strange, confused. Well? I ask. My chest tightens. His vitals are improved. Dr. Bellini sounds like he doesn't believe his own words. Improved how? His heart rate is more stable. His breathing is less labored. He's eating more. The doctor sets down his chart. Vincenzo, I don't understand it. Last week I told you he had a month. Now what? My voice is sharp. Now I think he might have longer. Dr. Bellini shakes his head. I've never seen anything like this. It's not medically possible. My breath catches. How much longer? I ask. I don't know. Maybe 2 months. Maybe 3. I can't promise anything, but something has changed. Something has changed. Clara's face flashes in my mind. Her prayers. Her stories. Her endless kindness. Thank you, doctor, I say. He leaves, still looking confused. I sit alone in my office and let myself feel something I haven't felt in months. Hope. Real, dangerous, terrifying hope. And for the first time in years, I let myself pray. Not out loud, just in my mind. A simple, desperate plea to a God I'm not sure is listening. Thank you. Please. More time. Just a little more time. The words feel awkward, foreign, but I mean them with every fiber of my being. I start spending more time with Luca, not just visits through camera feeds. Real time. Sitting with him, talking with him, being his father. Clara makes it easy. She always finds reasons for me to be there. She asks me to read a story, to help with a puzzle, to just sit while Luca naps. And slowly, day by day, I start to remember who I used to be, before the violence, before the power, before I let my wife's death turn me into something cold and cruel. One afternoon, Clara and I sit together in the garden while Luca sleeps upstairs. She brings tea. We sit at the small iron table surrounded by roses. You look tired, she says. I am tired. When's the last time you slept through the night? Clara's eyes are gentle. I don't remember. She pours the tea. The steam rises between us. Tell me about your wife, she says. The words should feel intrusive, personal, but they don't. Maria, I say. Her name tastes like honey and pain. She was everything good in the world, everything I wasn't. I doubt that. It's true. I grip the teacup. She was kind, patient. She believed people could change. She believed I could change. And did you? For a while. When she was alive, I tried to be better, to do better. My voice drops. Then she died having Luca, and I— You lost yourself, Clara says softly. Yes. The silence stretches between us. Not uncomfortable, just present. Grief makes us do things we regret, Clara says. It turns us into people we don't recognize. But that doesn't mean we can't find our way back. I look at her. Really look at her. You sound like you know, I say. Her eyes cloud over. Just for a second. I do, she says quietly. What happened? She takes a sip of tea. Her hands are steady, but her voice isn't. I lost my brother, 5 years ago. He was killed. My chest tightens. I'm sorry. He was 19, in the wrong place at the wrong time. Clara's voice is soft. Gang violence. A crossfire. He wasn't even involved. Just walking home from work. The words hang in the air. I want to ask more, but something in her face stops me. How did you— I pause. How did you move past it? I didn't move past it. I moved through it. Clara sets down her cup. I was angry for a long time. I wanted revenge. I wanted someone to pay. What changed? I realized that revenge wouldn't bring him back. It would just add more pain to the world. Her eyes find mine. So I chose forgiveness instead. The word hits me like a punch. Forgiveness. That must have been hard, I say. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. Clara smiles sadly. But it was also the thing that saved me. Because holding on to hate was killing me. Letting it go meant I could live again. I sit there, holding my tea, thinking about hate and forgiveness and all the things I've done that can't be undone. You sound like my wife, I whisper. Clara's smile grows. Maybe she sent me. The words should sound crazy, but they don't. They sound like hope. 3 days later, Marco comes to my office with a folder. His face is strange. Guilty. What is it? I ask. You told me to stop digging into Clara's background, he says. I did. I know, but He sets the folder on my desk. I finished the check before you told me to stop, and I think you need to see this. My stomach drops. Marco. Just read it, boss. He leaves. I stare at the folder. My hands shake slightly as I open it. Inside are documents, background checks, police reports. I read the first page, then the second. By the third page, my blood runs cold. Clara Morales, age 25, former resident of Brooklyn. Brother, Miguel Morales, age 19, deceased. Cause of death, gunshot wound. Gang-related crossfire. Date of death, 5 years ago. Location, outside a warehouse in Brooklyn. I flip to the police report. My eyes scan the details. Multiple gangs involved. Turf war. Innocent bystander caught in the shooting. Then I see the names. The gangs involved. One of them is mine. My crew. My territory. My war. Miguel Morales was killed by my men. The folder slips from my hands. I stare at the papers scattered across my desk. Clara's brother. My men killed Clara's brother. And she came here anyway. She came into my house, took care of my son, smiled at me, prayed with me, sat with me in the garden and told me about forgiveness. All while knowing I'm the reason her brother is dead. My breath comes in short gasps. I want to be angry, want to feel betrayed. But all I feel is shock and guilt and something close to horror. Why would she come here? What does she want? Revenge? I grab the phone and dial Marco. Bring her to my office, I say. Now. Clara enters 5 minutes later. She sees my face and stops. Mr. Romano? She says. I hold up the police report. My hand trembles. Your brother, I say. My voice sounds broken. Miguel. Her face goes pale. You knew, I say. You knew it was my men who killed him. Clara doesn't deny it. She just stands there, calm and sad and steady. Yes, she says. I knew. Why? The word comes out like a roar. Why did you come here? To help your son. That's not an answer. I slam my fist on the desk. Papers scatter. You came into my house. You took care of my child. You prayed with me. All while knowing you needed forgiveness as much as I did. Clara says quietly. The words stop me cold. What? I came here because I chose forgiveness, not revenge. Clara's eyes are steady. When Father Miguel told me you needed help with Luca, I knew who you were. I knew what your men did. And I chose to come anyway. Why? Because my brother's death taught me that hate destroys everything it touches. Her voice breaks slightly. I could have spent my life hating you, hating your family, hating everyone connected to that night. But hate wouldn't bring Miguel back. It would just make me into someone he wouldn't recognize. I stare at her. So you came here to… what? To prove you're better than me? No. I came here to save what could still be saved. Clara takes a step closer. Your son is dying. I can't bring my brother back. But maybe I could help Luca. Maybe I could help you. Maybe some good could come from all this pain. My throat tightens. You're insane, I whisper. Maybe. But I'm not wrong. Clara's voice is soft but certain. Luca is smiling again. You're talking to him again. The house feels alive again. Is that worth less than revenge? I can't answer. I can't think. All I can do is stand there, staring at this woman who should hate me but chose grace instead. I need time, I finally say. Clara nods. I understand. She turns to leave. Clara, I call. She pauses. Did you ever want to hurt me? For what happened? She looks back at me. Her eyes are sad and honest. Yes, she says. Every single day for the first year. But then I realized that hurting you wouldn't heal me. Only forgiveness could do that. She leaves. I sink into my chair and bury my face in my hands. And for the second time in a week, I cry. Not for my son, but for the weight of everything I've done. All the pain I've caused. All the lives I've destroyed in the name of power. And for the impossible grace of a woman who should hate me but chose love instead. 2 weeks pass. I avoid Clara as much as possible. When I see her in the halls, I look away. When she brings Luca his meals, I leave the room. I can't look at her without seeing her brother's face in my mind, without feeling the crushing weight of guilt. But I watch the cameras. I watch her care for Luca with the same gentleness, the same love. Nothing has changed for her, but everything has changed for me. One night, I sit in my office drinking whiskey. The house is quiet. Everyone is asleep except me. I think about Miguel Morales, 19 years old, walking home from work, cut down by bullets meant for someone else. How many others like him are there? How many innocent people caught in the crossfire of my wars? I pour another drink. Then I do something I haven't done since Maria died. I get on my knees. The floor is cold and hard. My joints ache. My pride screams at me to stand up, but I stay down. God, I whisper into the empty room. If you're real, if you're listening, tell me why she forgives me. The silence is absolute. No answer comes, but I stay on my knees anyway. This broken man begging for something he doesn't deserve. Grace, redemption, a second chance. And somewhere in the darkness, I feel the smallest shift. Not hope, not yet, but the possibility of hope. And for tonight, that's enough. The next morning I wake to find Clara outside my office door. She's holding a breakfast tray. Her face is calm, patient. I thought you might be hungry, she says. I stare at her. This woman whose brother I killed. This woman who should hate me. I don't understand you, I say. I know. Clara sets the tray on my desk. But you don't have to understand. You just have to accept it. Accept what? That forgiveness isn't about deserving it. It's about choosing it. Her voice is soft. And I choose to forgive you, Vincenzo. Every day. I choose it. My throat tightens. She uses my first name. Not Mr. Romano. Just Vincenzo. Like we're equals. Like we're friends. Why? The word comes out broken. Because my brother would have wanted me to. Because hate is too heavy to carry. Because your son needs you whole. Not broken by guilt. Clara's eyes find mine. And because I think God brought me here for a reason. I want to argue. Want to push her away. Want to tell her that people like me don't deserve grace. But I'm too tired to fight. Thank you, I whisper. Eat, she says gently. Then come see Luca. He's been asking for you. She leaves. I sit alone with the breakfast tray. Toast and eggs and coffee. Simple things made with care. And for the first time in 2 weeks, I eat. I start joining them for breakfast. Not every day, but most days. Clara sets up a small table in Luca's room. She brings food from the kitchen. The three of us eat together like a real family. Luca talks more now, short sentences, questions about everything. Why is the sky blue? How do birds know where to fly? Do you think Mama can see us from heaven? I don't always have answers, but Clara does. She tells him about science and nature and faith in ways that make sense to a child. And sometimes, she makes me answer. What do you think, Papa? She'll ask, and I'll stumble through responses that probably aren't right, but come from my heart. Luca listens to every word like I'm the smartest man alive. It breaks me and heals me at the same time. One morning, Clara brings a Bible to breakfast. I thought we could read a story, she says. Luca's eyes light up. Yes, the one about the shepherd. Clara opens the worn pages. She reads about a shepherd who leaves 99 sheep to find the one that's lost. I listen without meaning to. The words wash over me. About being lost. About being found. About how no one is too far gone to come home. When she finishes, Luca asks, Was the lost sheep bad? No, sweetheart. Just lost. Clara's voice is warm. Sometimes good sheep wander away, but the shepherd never stops looking for them. Luca turns to me. Were you a lost sheep, Papa? The question hits me hard. Clara's breath catches. I look at my son's innocent face, at his honest eyes. Yes, I say. I think I was. But you're found now, right? I glance at Clara. She's watching me with tears in her eyes. I'm getting there, I say. Luca smiles. Good. I don't want you to be lost. He reaches for my hand. His fingers are small and warm and alive. Something shifts in my chest. Maybe I am being found. Maybe this woman with her worn Bible and impossible forgiveness is leading me home. Maybe it's not too late. The staff starts treating Clara differently. Not like a maid, like family. The cook asks her opinion on recipes. The gardener shows her his roses. Even Marco stops calling her the new girl and uses her name. One afternoon, I find her in the kitchen with 5 staff members. They're sitting around the table, heads bowed, praying. I watch from the doorway. No one sees me. Clara's voice is soft but clear. Thank you for this food. Thank you for this family. Thank you for second chances. The others murmur, Amen. Then they look up and see me. Everyone freezes. But Clara just smiles. Would you like to join us, Vincenzo? I should say no. Should tell them to get back to work. Should remind them that this is a business, not a church. But I find myself walking to the table instead. I sit down in the empty chair. Clara reaches for my hand. The cook takes my other hand. And for the first time in 20 years, I pray with others. Not out loud. I can't do that yet. But I bow my head. I close my eyes. I let their words become mine. When it's over, I feel lighter somehow. Like I've put down a weight I didn't know I was carrying. Luca's 9th birthday approaches. He's been alive longer than Dr. Bellini predicted. 2 months past his original death sentence. The doctors call it impossible. Clara calls it a miracle. I don't know what to call it. I just know my son is still breathing, still smiling, still here. Clara wants to throw him a party. Nothing big, she says. Just something special. In the garden. It's a security risk, I say automatically. It's his birthday. Clara's voice is gentle but firm. He deserves to celebrate. What if something happens? What if he gets worse? What if he doesn't? What if we have this one beautiful night? Her eyes hold mine. Isn't that worth the risk? I think about all the risks I've taken in my life, all the dangerous deals, all the violent confrontations, all the choices made in the name of power, and none of them matter compared to this. Okay, I say, plan the party. Clara's smile could light up the whole house. The night of Luca's birthday, the garden transforms. Candles in glass jars line the pathways. Paper stars hang from trees. White lights twist through the rose bushes. Clara sets up blankets and pillows on the grass. She brings cake and presents and decorations. The staff helps. Everyone wants to be part of this. I carry Luca outside at sunset. He gasps when he sees everything. It's magic, he whispers. Clara laughs. Just for you, birthday boy. We sit on the blankets. The staff gathers around. Even Marco joins us, looking uncomfortable but present. Clara lights the candles on a small cake. 9 of them. Make a wish, she says. Luca closes his eyes. His lips move silently. Then he blows. Only 3 candles go out. He doesn't have enough breath for more. But Clara blows out the rest. We'll help, she says. Wishes work better when we make them together. Luca beams. We eat cake. We open presents. Clara tells a story about a prince who found courage in the stars. The night is perfect. Warm and gentle and filled with laughter. I watch my son's face. The joy there. The light. And I think about how close I came to missing this. How I almost let him die alone in that dark room while I hid in my office. Clara catches my eye. She smiles. I mouth the words, "Thank you." She nods. Later, after cake and stories, Luca falls asleep in my arms. I hold him close. His heart beats against my chest. Steady. Alive. Best night ever, he murmurs, before sleep takes him completely. Those words again. I look up at the stars, at the 1,000 points of light in the darkness, and I make a wish of my own. Please, let me be the father he deserves. Give me a second chance. I don't know if anyone hears, but I hope. 3 days later, Dr. Bellini comes again. He examines Luca for an hour, tests his heart, checks his vitals. When he emerges, his face is stunned. His heart is stronger, he says. Not cured, but stronger. His breathing is better. His appetite is improving. My breath catches. What does that mean? It means he might have 6 months. Maybe more. Dr. Bellini shakes his head. I've practiced medicine for 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. A miracle, I say. The doctor looks at me strangely. I don't believe in miracles, but I don't have another explanation. After he leaves, I find Clara in the chapel. Yes, my house has a chapel. Maria insisted on it. I haven't been inside since her funeral, but Clara goes there every morning. I stand in the doorway and watch her pray. Her head is bowed. Her hands are folded. Peace radiates from her like light. I clear my throat. She looks up. Vincenzo, come in. I step inside. The chapel is small, simple. A few wooden pews, a cross on the wall, sunlight through stained glass. The doctor says Luca's improving, I say. I know. God is good. Is it God? Or is it you? The question comes out before I can stop it. Clara stands. She walks to me. It's both, and neither. It's love, Vincenzo. Love is what heals. Her voice is soft. Luca is getting better because he's not alone anymore. Because you're choosing him. Because this house is filled with hope instead of despair. My throat tightens. I don't know how to thank you, I whisper. Then don't thank me. Thank God. And keep being Luca's father. That's all the thanks I need. She touches my arm gently. Then she leaves me alone in the chapel. I stand there for a long time. Then I kneel. Not gracefully. My knees crack. My back aches. But I kneel anyway. And I pray. Really pray. Not just words. Not just desperation. But gratitude. Thank you, I whisper. Thank you for Clara. Thank you for more time with my son. Thank you for not giving up on me. The chapel is silent. But for the first time, I feel like I'm not praying to empty air. I feel like someone is listening. The peace lasts 2 weeks. Then everything falls apart. My accountant calls me into his office. He shows me records, payroll statements. Clara has been donating part of her salary, he says, every month to the Sacred Heart Orphanage. So? I ask. So Sacred Heart is run by Father Miguel, the priest who publicly condemns organized crime, who calls people like you. He pauses. Well, he's not a fan. My blood runs cold. Show me, I say. He pulls up records, news articles, sermons posted online. Father Miguel has spent years speaking against the Mafia, against men like me, calling us sinners and criminals and murderers. And Clara has been giving him money. My money. My hands clench into fists. How long? I ask. Since she started working here. I feel betrayed, used, stupid. I thought she came here to help, to heal, to forgive. But maybe she came to make a fool of me, to take my money and give it to people who want to destroy me. Maybe her kindness was all a lie. The anger builds in my chest like fire. I find Clara in Luca's room that evening. She's reading him a story. Her voice is gentle and warm. Clara, I say. My voice is ice. We need to talk. She looks up. She sees my face and her smile fades. Luca, sweetheart, I'll be right back, she says. We go to the hallway. I close the door. You've been donating money to Sacred Heart, I say. She doesn't deny it. Yes. To Father Miguel, the man who calls me a murderer. He runs an orphanage. Children need— I don't care what they need. My voice rises. You came into my house, my home. You took my money, and you gave it to my enemies. They're not your enemies. They're just people trying to help children. Clara's voice stays calm. Too calm. I thought you'd understand. Understand what? That you've been playing me this whole time? I haven't been playing you. Clara's eyes flash with hurt. Everything I've done has been real. Every prayer. Every moment with Luca. All of it. Then why hide this? I didn't hide it. You never asked. She takes a step closer. The orphanage needs help. Children need food and clothes and safety. What was I supposed to do? Ignore them? You were supposed to be loyal. The words explode out of me. You were supposed to. To what? Pretend those children don't exist? Pretend their suffering doesn't matter because their priest doesn't like you? Clara's voice cracks. I came here to help Vincenzo, not just Luca. Everyone I can help. By betraying me. By being who I've always been. Tears fill her eyes. You knew who I was when you let me stay. A woman who believes in forgiveness. In grace. In helping those who need it. This is who I am. I want to believe her. Want to see past my anger and hurt and pride, but all I can see is betrayal. You're fired, I say. The words hang in the air like daggers. Clara's breath catches. Vincenzo, get out of my house. Tonight. Please. Let me explain. Let me— Get out! I shout. Luca's door opens. My son stands there, pale and weak and terrified. Papa, no, he says. Don't make her leave. Go back to bed, Luca. Please! Tears stream down his face. I need her. You have me, I say. But my son just sobs. That's not enough. The words cut deeper than any knife. Clara kneels beside Luca. She hugs him gently. It's okay, sweetheart, she whispers. Your papa loves you. He's just scared right now. Don't go, Luca begs. I have to, but I'll pray for you every day, I promise. She kisses his forehead. Be brave for me. Then she stands. She walks past me without another word. I watch her leave. Watch her pack her small bag. Watch her walk out the front door into the rain that just started falling. And I stand there, alone with my son's sobs echoing through the house, wondering if I just made the biggest mistake of my life. That night, the storm hits hard. Thunder shakes the windows. Lightning tears across the sky. Rain pounds the roof like fists. I sit in my office drinking whiskey. The alcohol doesn't help. Nothing helps. Luca cried himself to sleep. I heard him through the monitors, calling for Clara, begging for her to come back. I told myself I did the right thing, that she betrayed me, that I had no choice. But the words ring hollow. At midnight, my phone rings. It's Marco. Boss, Luca's condition. He's not good. We called the doctor. He said bring him to the hospital. Now. My blood turns to ice. What happened? I don't know. He collapsed. Started having trouble breathing. I'm running before Marco finishes talking. I burst into Luca's room. My son is pale. His breathing is shallow. His lips are turning blue. No, I whisper. No, no, no. I scoop him up. He weighs nothing. His head lolls against my shoulder. Papa, he breathes. Can't breathe. Hold on, son. Just hold on. Marco drives us to the hospital. I sit in the back cradling Luca. My shirt is soaked with rain and tears. Please, I whisper. Please don't leave me. The hospital is bright and cold and terrifying. Doctors rush him away. I try to follow, but nurses hold me back. Let us work, they say. I'm left alone in the waiting room. White walls. Fluorescent lights. The smell of antiseptic and death. I pace. I sit. I stand. I can't stay still. Hours pass. No one comes to tell me anything. I think about Clara. About her gentle voice. Her prayers. Her impossible faith. And I realize that firing her didn't just break her heart. It broke Luca's spirit. My son was fighting. Was getting stronger. Was believing he could live. And I took away the person who gave him hope. I sink into a chair. My hands shake. I destroyed everything. Again. Just like I always do. My fist slams into the wall. Pain shoots up my arm. I hit it again. And again. Until my knuckles bleed and my hand goes numb. Then I fall to my knees right there in the hospital waiting room, and I pray. God, I say out loud, I don't deserve anything. I know that. I've killed, I've stolen, I've hurt so many people. My voice breaks. But my son is innocent. He doesn't deserve this. Please, please don't take him. The words pour out like blood from a wound. Bring Clara back. Let me fix this. Give me one more chance. I bow my head, and I wait for an answer that doesn't come. At dawn, I hear footsteps. I look up. Clara stands in the hallway. Her clothes are soaked from rain. Her hair hangs wet around her face. Her eyes are red from crying. But she's here. How did you? Marco called me. Her voice is quiet. Where is he? Still in surgery. They won't tell me anything. Clara walks to me. She sits in the chair beside mine. Then we wait, she says. Clara, Not now. Right now, we pray. She takes my hand. Her fingers are cold but steady. And together, in that sterile waiting room with fluorescent lights humming overhead, we pray. Not with fancy words. Not with religious language. Just honest, desperate pleas for my son's life. Clara's voice is steady. Faith begins where fear ends. I repeat the words in my mind like a mantra. Faith begins where fear ends. Faith begins where fear ends. Hours pass. We don't move. We don't let go of each other's hands. We just pray. Finally, a doctor emerges. His face is exhausted but not defeated. Mr. Romano? I jump up. How is he? Stable. His heart was under severe stress, but we got it under control. The doctor looks confused. I don't know how to explain this. He should have died. But something happened. His vitals stabilized on their own. Clara squeezes my hand. Can I see him? I ask. Yes, but only for a few minutes. He needs rest. We follow the doctor to Luca's room. My son lies in bed connected to machines, but his chest rises and falls. His heart monitor beeps steadily. He's alive. I fall to my knees beside his bed. Clara kneels beside me. Thank you. I whisper. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know if I'm talking to God or Clara or both, but I mean it with everything I am. Clara's hand rests on my shoulder. He's going to be okay, she whispers. We're all going to be okay. And for the first time in my life, I believe her. 3 days pass in the hospital. Luca drifts in and out of consciousness. Clara and I take turns sitting with him. Sometimes we sit together. We don't talk about what happened, about my accusations, about me firing her. We just focus on Luca. On the 4th day, he opens his eyes. I'm reading a book aloud. Clara is adjusting his blankets. Papa? Luca's voice is weak but clear. I drop the book. I'm here, son. His eyes find mine. Then they find Clara. Miss Clara, he whispers. You came back. Clara's breath catches. Tears fill her eyes. Of course I came back. Papa said you had to leave. I feel my chest tighten with shame. Your papa made a mistake, Clara says softly. But he's learning. We all are. Luca's hand reaches for hers. She takes it gently. Miss Clara says God's not done with us yet, Luca tells me. The words pierce through me like light through darkness. I look at Clara. Her eyes are wet but steady, full of grace I don't deserve. She's right, I say. My voice breaks. God's not done with us. Luca smiles, small but real, and something in my chest cracks open completely. All the walls I built, all the armor I wore, all the hardness I used to survive. It crumbles. I take Clara's other hand. She lets me. I'm sorry, I whisper, for everything, for my anger, for not trusting you, for… Shh, Clara squeezes my hand. I forgive you. I already forgave you. How can you keep forgiving me? Because that's what love does. Her voice is gentle. It forgives. Over and over. Until there's nothing left but grace. Luca watches us with tired eyes. Are we a family again? Clara and I look at each other. Yes, I say. We're a family. Clara smiles. Forever. And in that hospital room with machines beeping and fluorescent lights humming, we become something new. Not perfect. Not without scars, but whole. A week later, we bring Luca home. The mansion feels different. Lighter somehow. The staff welcomes him back with tears and hugs. Even Marco's eyes look wet. Clara helps settle Luca in his room, but the darkness is gone. The curtains stay open. Sunlight pours in. That night, I can't sleep. I walk through the house thinking about everything, about the life I've lived, the choices I've made, the blood on my hands. I end up in my office. Files and records surround me. Evidence of 20 years of crime, money laundering, extortion, violence, death. I built an empire on fear, and it means nothing. My son almost died, and all my power couldn't save him. But love did. Clara's love, God's love. Maybe they're the same thing. I pick up the phone. I call my lawyer. Dominic, I say when he answers. I need you to draw up papers. I'm dissolving the organization. Silence on the other end. Vincenzo, are you? I'm done. All of it. The businesses, the territory, everything. My voice is steady. I want out. That's not how this works. You can't just watch me. I hang up. Then I call my accountant, my managers, my connections. One by one, I tell them the same thing. I'm out. Some argue, some threaten, some beg. I don't care. I'm choosing my son. I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing a different life. By dawn, the calls are made. I'm no longer a crime boss. I'm just a father, and it feels like freedom. The next morning, I tell Clara what I did. We're in the garden. Luca is sleeping upstairs. The sun is warm on our faces. You disbanded everything? Clara asks. Everything. That's huge. Her eyes search mine. Are you sure? I've never been more sure of anything. I sit beside her on the bench. I can't be that man anymore. Not after everything. Not after you showed me another way. Clara's hand finds mine. What will you do now? I don't know. Start over. Do something good. I pause. I was thinking, maybe a foundation for children, to help kids who have nothing. Her breath catches. Like an orphanage? Like support for orphanages, and hospitals, and families who need help. The words come easier than I expect. I have money, blood money. Maybe I can turn it into something clean, something that helps instead of hurts. Clara's eyes shine with tears. That's beautiful. Will you help me? I ask. I don't know how to do good, but you do. Of course I'll help. She squeezes my hand. We'll do it together. We sit in silence for a moment. Birds sing in the trees. Flowers bloom around us. Everything feels new. What about Sacred Heart? I ask quietly. Clara looks at me. What about it? I want to help. The orphanage. Father Miguel's work. I take a breath. I want to make things right. Her smile could light the whole world. You're really changing, she whispers. I'm trying. My voice is rough. I don't know if I can undo all the damage, but maybe I can start building something better. Clara leans her head on my shoulder. That's all any of us can do. Start building. And sitting there in the garden with this woman who saved my life and my soul, I finally understand what redemption means. Not erasing the past, but building a better future anyway. 2 months pass. Luca continues improving, slowly, but steadily. He walks with help now. He draws again. He laughs freely. The doctors call it unexplainable. Clara calls it God's grace. I call it a miracle. We start the Romano Foundation for Children of Hope. Clara and I work together. We identify orphanages that need support, hospitals that treat sick children, families struggling to survive, and we help. Not just with money, with time, with presence, with love. I visit Sacred Heart Orphanage for the first time on a Tuesday. Father Miguel meets me at the door. He's older than I expected. Gray hair, kind eyes, wary expression. Mr. Romano, he says carefully. Father. I extend my hand. Thank you for seeing me. He doesn't take my hand immediately. Clara spoke highly of you, but I know your reputation. So do I. I lower my hand. I'm not here to make excuses. I'm here to help, if you'll let me. Father Miguel studies my face for a long moment. Then he takes my hand. Come in. The orphanage is small but clean. Children's laughter echoes through the halls. The smell of cooking food fills the air. He shows me the classrooms, the bedrooms, the kitchen that barely has enough supplies. We do our best, Father Miguel says. But the needs are great. What do you need most? I ask. Everything. He smiles sadly. But mostly, we need hope. These children have been abandoned, hurt. They need to know someone cares. I think about Luca, about how Clara's love brought him back from the edge of death. I understand. I say. We talk for 2 hours. I write a check that makes his eyes widen, but more than that, I promise to return, to help, to be present, to show these children that change is possible. When I leave, Father Miguel walks me to the door. Clara was right about you, he says. What did she say? That you're a good man trying to find his way home. Father Miguel's voice is gentle. Welcome home, Mr. Romano. The words stay with me for days. Welcome home. Maybe that's what redemption is. Finding your way back to who you were always meant to be. 3 weeks later, we hold the Foundation's first charity event. A ballroom filled with donors, doctors, community leaders, even some of my former associates. Everyone wants to see the reformed crime boss, the man who walked away from power. I'm terrified. Clara stands beside me backstage. She straightens my tie. Her hands are steady, even though mine shake. You can do this, she says. What if they don't believe me? What if... Then you tell the truth anyway. Not for them, for you. Clara's eyes find mine. The truth will set you free. I nod. The MC introduces me. Applause fills the room. I walk onto the stage. Hundreds of faces stare at me. Some curious, some skeptical, some hoping for a scandal. I grip the podium. My breath catches. Then I see Clara in the back of the room. She smiles. She nods. And I begin. My name is Vincenzo Romano, and I'm a criminal. The room goes silent. For 20 years I hurt people. I stole. I threatened. I caused pain and suffering. My voice shakes, but I keep going. I told myself I was protecting my family, building an empire, being strong. I pause. My throat tightens. But I was just scared, and angry, and lost. I look out at the crowd. My wife died 8 years ago, and I let that loss turn me into someone she wouldn't recognize. Someone I don't recognize. Tears blur my vision. 6 months ago, my son was dying. I had all the money in the world, all the power, and it meant nothing. I wipe my eyes. Then a woman named Clara came into my house, and she showed me something I'd forgotten. Love, forgiveness, grace. I gesture to Clara. She's crying quietly in the back. She saved my son, and she saved me. My voice breaks. So I'm here tonight to say I'm sorry. To everyone I hurt. To everyone I failed. To the families destroyed by my violence. I can't undo it, but I can try to build something better. The silence stretches. The Romano Foundation exists because of Clara, because she believed broken people can change, because she chose love over hate. I take a shaky breath. And if there's any hope for someone like me, then there's hope for anyone. I step back from the podium. For a moment, nothing happens. Then someone starts clapping, then another. Then the entire room rises to their feet. The applause is deafening. I stand there, tears streaming down my face, overwhelmed by grace I don't deserve. Clara walks onto the stage. She takes my hand, and together, we face the crowd, not as a crime boss and a maid, but as two broken people trying to build something beautiful from the ruins. A month later, I take Clara and Luca to a cemetery in Brooklyn. Miguel Morales' grave is simple, a small headstone under a tree. Clara kneels and traces the letters of his name with her fingers. I hold Luca's hand. He's walking better now, stronger every day. This is my brother, Clara says to Luca. Miguel, he was very kind, very brave. Luca looks at the grave with wide eyes. Is he in heaven? Yes, sweetheart. I think he is. I kneel beside Clara. I lay fresh lilies on the grave. Miguel, I say quietly, I never met you, but I'm the reason you died. My men, my war, my sin. Clara's hand rests on my shoulder. Your sister saved us. She chose forgiveness when she had every right to choose hate. My voice breaks. I can't bring you back, but I promise to honor your memory, to be the kind of man you would have been, to help the people you would have helped. Tears fall on the grass. Thank you, I whisper, for having a sister who taught me what grace looks like. Clara leans against me. We kneel there together beside her brother's grave, and somehow, in that moment of grief and gratitude, I feel peace, not the absence of pain, but the presence of healing. Luca reaches out and touches the headstone. Don't be sad, Miss Clara. Your brother is with Mama now. They're friends in heaven. Clara smiles through her tears. I think you're right. We stay for an hour, talking to Miguel, telling him about the foundation, about the children we're helping, about the life his death somehow made possible. When we finally leave, a butterfly lands on Luca's shoulder, orange and black, beautiful and fragile. Luca giggles. Look! The butterfly stays for a moment. Then it flies away into the sunlight. Clara watches it go. Her face is peaceful. A sign, she says. Of what? I ask. Renewal, hope, new life. She takes my hand. Everything's going to be okay. And walking through that cemetery with my son and this woman who changed everything, I believe her. 6 months later, everything is different. We sold the mansion. The money went to the foundation and Sacred Heart. I bought a smaller house. Nothing fancy. Just a home with a yard and neighbors who wave hello. Clara lives with us now, not as a maid, as family. We work together every day at the foundation office. We visit orphanages. We help families. We build hope one person at a time. Luca goes to a regular school now. He's still weak sometimes. But he's alive. He's growing. He's happy. The doctors say it's impossible. But he's here anyway. Marco works for the foundation now. Head of security. He's softer than he used to be. He even smiles sometimes. On Sundays, we go to Mass together. That's something I never thought I'd do, but Clara insisted. And I found I wanted to go. To thank God. To worship. To belong to something bigger than myself. This Sunday, I sit between Clara and Luca in the pew. Father Miguel is preaching. Sometimes God sends angels in the form of ordinary people, he says. People who show us grace when we deserve judgment. Who believe in us when we've given up on ourselves. His eyes meet mine across the room. I feel tears building. Clara's hand finds mine. She squeezes gently. I squeeze back. Don't be afraid of second chances, Father Miguel continues. God is in the business of redemption, of taking broken things and making them beautiful, of turning sinners into saints. Luca leans against me. His head rests on my shoulder. I put my arm around him, and I think about everything that brought us here. The pain, the loss, the grace, the impossible journey from death to life. You gave my son life, I whisper to Clara, and me a soul. She turns to me. Her eyes shine with tears and joy. You always had a soul, she says. You just forgot how to see it. The choir begins singing. The sound fills the church like light fills darkness. I close my eyes and let the music wash over me. And for the first time in my entire life, I feel complete. Not because I'm perfect, not because I've erased my past, but because I've been forgiven. And I'm learning to forgive myself. That afternoon, we return home. The small house with the white fence and rose bushes out front. Nothing like the mansion, but infinitely better. Luca runs ahead. His legs are stronger now. He's not healed completely, but he's fighting. Come on, Papa! Miss Clara! He calls. We follow him inside. The house smells like the cookies Clara baked this morning. Sunlight pours through the windows. Photos line the walls. Our family, our friends, our life. Luca grabs his art supplies. I want to draw. What are you drawing today? Clara asks. Our family, all of us together. He grins. With Mama and Miguel watching from heaven. Clara's breath catches. She looks at me. I take her hand. That sounds perfect, I say. Luca settles at the kitchen table. His tongue sticks out as he concentrates. His small hands grip the crayons. Clara and I watch him, our beautiful, impossible miracle of a child. Thank you, I tell her quietly, for everything, for saving him, for saving me, for believing in second chances. Thank you for taking them, Clara says, for choosing love, for becoming the man I always knew you could be. I pull her close. She rests her head on my chest. We stand there in our small kitchen watching Luca draw, listening to him hum, feeling peace settle around us like a blanket. The past still exists, the pain, the mistakes, the blood, but it doesn't own me anymore. I've been redeemed, not because I deserved it, but because grace doesn't care about deserving. It just gives, and gives, and gives, until the broken become whole. Until the lost find their way home, until the darkness becomes light. I love you, I whisper to Clara. The words feel new, fragile, true. She looks up at me. Her eyes are warm and steady and full of hope. I love you too, she says. Luca looks over at us. Are you guys mushy? We laugh. Maybe a little, Clara says. Good. Families are supposed to be mushy. Luca goes back to his drawing. That's what makes them families. Clara and I exchange a smile. And in this small house filled with sunlight and laughter and love, I finally understand what it means to be home. Not a place, but a feeling. The feeling that you belong, that you're wanted, that you're loved, despite everything. I kiss Clara's forehead. She closes her eyes and smiles. Outside, birds sing. Children play in neighboring yards. Life continues its beautiful, ordinary rhythm. And inside, we're together. A family built from broken pieces, glued together with grace, made whole by love that never gave up. I look at Luca's drawing, the three of us holding hands, two angels above us smiling down, and I see not just what we are, but what we're becoming. Something beautiful, something redeemed, something worth fighting for. The journey isn't over. We'll face hard days. Luca's health will always be fragile. My past will always follow me, but we'll face it together, with faith, with hope, with love that transforms everything it touches. I hear Clara whisper a prayer of thanks. I close my eyes and add my own. Thank you, for second chances, for impossible grace. For this life I don't deserve, but will spend every day earning. The afternoon sun streams through the window, warm and golden and full of promise. And in this moment, surrounded by the people I love most, I am finally at peace. Not because everything is perfect, but because everything is exactly as it should be. We are home. We are whole. We are loved. And that is enough. 6 months later, I wake to the smell of coffee and pancakes. Clara hums in the kitchen. Luca's laughter drifts through the house. I stretch and smile. My body aches less these days. My sleep is deeper. My dreams are peaceful. I walk downstairs in my pajamas. No expensive suits anymore. Just comfort and simplicity. Luca sits at the table eating pancakes. His cheeks have color now. His eyes are bright. "Morning, Papa," he says. "Morning, buddy." I ruffle his hair. Clara turns from the stove. She smiles when she sees me. "Coffee?" she asks. "Please." She pours me a cup. Our fingers touch as she hands it to me. We've been married for 3 months now. A small ceremony in Father Miguel's church. Just family and friends. Nothing fancy. Everything perfect. "Big day today," Clara says. "I know." I sip the coffee. "You ready?" "Are you?" I think about it. About the orphanage opening we're attending. About the children we'll meet. About the hope we'll plant. "Yes," I say. "I'm ready." Luca finishes his pancakes. "Can I come?" "Of course. We need our best helper." Clara kisses his head. We get ready together. The simple morning routine of a normal family. No guards, no drivers, no fear, just us. We drive to Sacred Heart in my old sedan. Nothing fancy. It runs well. That's enough. Father Miguel meets us at the door. The new wing is beautiful. Bright classrooms, clean bedrooms, a playground, all built with money that used to buy violence. Now it buys hope. Children run through the halls, laughing, playing, safe. One little girl approaches me shyly. She's maybe 6. Dark hair, brown eyes. "Are you Mr. Romano?" she asks. "Yes, sweetie. Thank you for our new beds. Mine is so soft." She smiles. I sleep good now. My throat tightens. "You're welcome," I manage to say. She hugs my leg. Then she runs off to play. I stand there, overwhelmed by the simple beauty of it. A child who sleeps well because of me, not a child who fears because of me. Clara's hand slips into mine. She understands without words. "This is what it's all about," she whispers. Yes. We spend the day at the orphanage. I fix broken shelves. Clara organizes supplies. Luca plays with the younger children. We're not special. We're just people helping, being present, showing up. But somehow, that's enough. As we drive home at sunset, Luca falls asleep in the back seat. Clara rests her head on my shoulder. "Happy?" she asks. "More than I ever thought possible." Me too. We drive in comfortable silence. The radio plays softly. The world outside is peaceful. I think about the man I used to be, the empire I built on fear, the life I thought mattered, and I'm grateful it's gone. This life is better, smaller, simpler, real. This life has meaning. When we get home, I carry Luca inside. He murmurs in his sleep but doesn't wake. I tuck him into bed. I kiss his forehead. I thank God for one more day with him. Then I find Clara in our bedroom. She's brushing her hair. The lamp casts soft light. I stand in the doorway and watch her. This woman who saved me, who believed in me, who loved me when I was unlovable. What? She asks, catching me staring. Just thinking about how lucky I am. Not luck. Grace. Same thing. I walk to her. I take her hands. I love you, Clara Romano. Her smile is everything. I love you too. We lie in bed together, her head on my chest, my arms around her. Outside, crickets sing. A gentle breeze moves the curtains. Inside, we're safe. We're together. We're home. Vincenzo? Clara whispers. Yes? Do you have any regrets? I think about it. About the years lost. The pain caused. The blood spilled. I regret the hurt I caused. The lives I destroyed. I pause. But I don't regret where it brought me. To you. To this life. To redemption. She squeezes me tighter. God works in mysterious ways. He does. Silence settles. Peaceful and complete. My eyes grow heavy. Sleep comes easily now. No nightmares. No fear. Just rest. Before I drift off, I whisper one more prayer. Thank you. For Clara. For Luca. For second chances and impossible grace. For teaching me that love wins. Always. Clara's breathing deepens. She's asleep. I hold her close. And I smile in the darkness. Because everything I ever wanted is right here in my arms. Not power. Not money. Not empire. Just love. Just family. Just home. I close my eyes. And I sleep the sleep of the redeemed. Deep. Peaceful. Free.